Now, the only 24-hour local news for Western New York. Only on Time Warner Cable. This is YNN, your midday news now.
Good afternoon. Thanks for choosing YNN today. I'm Virginia Butler. We've got all the day's headlines coming right up, but first a look at your forecast. Clouds give way to increasing sun today, breezy and cool this afternoon with highs mostly in the 60s. Mainly clear and cooler tonight with lows in the mid to upper 40s. Sunshine continued cool tomorrow as well. And in Jamestown, Dunkirk, and Olean, clouds and sun also breezy and cool this afternoon with highs from the upper 50s to around 60. Mostly clear and chilly tonight with lows in the low to mid 40s. Continued cool but mostly sunny tomorrow. NFL Hall of Famer and Buffalo Bills legend Jim Kelly has been diagnosed with cancer. That's top your news in a minute. Kelly announced in a statement released through the Bills that he has squamous cell carcinoma of the upper jawbone. He says the cancer hasn't spread to any other parts of his body, and doctors tell him his prognosis for recovery is good. Senator Charles Schumer is in town today pushing for JetBlue to add a direct flight from Buffalo to Los Angeles. He says the added flight would bring jobs and business to Buffalo, particularly from north of the border. A new yogurt production plant is opening up in Batavia today. Mueller Quaker Dairy's 350,000 square foot facility will produce about 122,000 cups of yogurt an hour using milk from local sources. And the Buffalo Zoo's newest addition made his official debut today. Cully, the baby polar bear, joined his friend Luna in the zoo's Vanishing Animals exhibit. And that was your news in a minute. Here's more now on our top story. Former Bills quarterback Jim Kelly announced this morning he's been diagnosed with cancer of the upper jaw. He spoke about it today during his 27th annual Jim Kelly Celebrity Classic Golf Tournament. YNN's Katie Morse joins us from the newsroom with more on Kelly's announcement. Katie? All right, and obviously we wish him all the best. YNN's Katie Morse reporting from our newsroom. If you're planning a trip to California anytime soon, you can't take a direct flight out of Buffalo. Senator Chuck Schumer is in town today trying to change that. Schumer was at the Buffalo Niagara International Airport pushing for a direct route to Los Angeles. He wants JetBlue to fly it, saying it would bring jobs and business to Buffalo, particularly from north of the border. Canadians fly out of Buffalo sometimes because flights are sometimes less expensive than Toronto's airport. Schumer wants JetBlue to discuss a possible flight to Los Angeles with the NFTA. Mueller Quaker Dairy officially opened its new state-of-the-art yogurt manufacturing plant in Batavia today. The CEO of PepsiCo was on hand. The plant is a partnership between Pepsi and the Theo Mueller Group of Germany. The 350,000 square foot facility will produce about 122,000 cups of yogurt an hour. The operation created 180 new jobs, and the milk comes from local sources. The Mueller Quaker Dairy plant is one of 2 yogurt facilities at the Genesee Valley Agribusiness Park. Well, the wait is now over. Cully, the Buffalo Zoo's male polar bear cub, made his official public debut today. He'll now be on exhibit with his friend Luna every day for the next few months. But as YNN's John Doherty tells us, if donations don't pick up, there's a chance the zoo could lose all of its bears for good. Local gun rights advocates hold a forum to discuss the New York SAFE Act tonight. Erie County Sheriff Tim Howard and others will be there to answer questions and discuss the state's controversial gun law. Sheriff Howard says he will not enforce the SAFE Act in Erie County. The event is tonight at 7 at the Shannon Pub in Amherst. A Clarence man learned his fate for raping and sodomizing a child. 50-year-old Craig Wallach was sentenced to 23 years in prison, plus 15 years post-release supervision in state Supreme Court today. Wallach was convicted of 2 counts of use of a child and a sexual performance, 2 counts of rape and 1 count of criminal sex act. He admitted to raping and sodomizing a child from August 2006 to October 2007 and videotaping those acts for his sexual gratification. Police say the abuse began when the child was just 12 years old. Thousands of residents were evacuated from their homes as wildfires continued to burn in California. The fast-growing fire burned about 40 square miles of brush in canyons and mountains about 50 miles north of downtown Los Angeles. The LA County Sheriff's Office says about 3,000 evacuated and can't return to their homes until tomorrow. The fires destroyed 6 homes. Well, people in New England are getting their power back today after a line of severe storms brought winds of more than 60 miles an hour. Trees were flattened and lines brought down in Maine, New Hampshire, and Vermont. In the meantime, Oklahoma's governor says the death toll from Friday's tornado stands at 13 and could go higher. Emergency crews continue searching for victims. 2 of the dead are children and 3 are professional storm chasers from the Discovery Channel series Storm Chasers. Well, after a hot weekend, it's a cool and breezy Monday with highs only in the mid-60s. All the details are coming up next in your Weather on the 9's forecast.
Now, the only 24-hour local news for Western New York. Only on Time Warner Cable. This is YNN, your morning news now.
Well, good Saturday morning. Thanks for joining us on Your News Now. I'm Katie Morse. A check of your top stories is coming up, but first, a look at your forecast for the start of the weekend. We'll see hazy sunshine with a few scattered showers and thunderstorms today. It'll be very warm and humid with highs in the mid-80s. More showers and storms possible tonight, remaining warm and muggy with lows near 70. And in Jamestown, Dunkirk, and Olean, partly sunny with scattered showers and thunderstorms. It'll be breezy and warm with highs in the upper 70s to low 80s. More showers and storms likely tonight. Warm with a gusty breeze. Lows will be in the mid-60s to near 70. Deadly storms continued across Oklahoma yesterday, and that tops your news in a minute. 5 more people were killed after more tornadoes touched down in the Oklahoma City suburbs. They hit just north of Moore, where an EF5 tornado killed 24 people last week. Well, tougher penalties are now in place for drivers who are caught texting and driving. Governor Cuomo signed a bill in 2011 to ticket texting drivers, and now the penalty will increase from 3 to 5 points on a person's license. Cuomo's also proposing new legislation for young and new drivers. Well, the National Veterans Golden Age Games continue today. More than 700 athletes are in town for the games that take place at 15 venues across the area. The games are estimated to have a $2.2 million economic impact. The concert season is here, and one local concert venue is something to celebrate. Art Park is hosting an anniversary gala to celebrate 40 years. That was your news in a minute. Here's more now on your top story. More deadly tornadoes in Oklahoma yesterday. The state's medical examiner says 5 people are dead after the tornado outbreak in the Oklahoma City suburbs. A number of tornadoes touched down west and southeast of Oklahoma City during rush hour yesterday. Area hospitals say dozens were hurt, along with those 5 killed. The storms left behind major damage in a state already trying to rebuild. Yesterday's tornadoes hit north and northwest of Moore, where an EF5 tornado killed 24 people last week. A crash involving a car and motorcycle sent 2 people to the hospital early this morning. It happened at the intersection of Main and Spindrift in Amherst. Police say the driver of the motorcycle was seriously injured and the driver of the car had minor injuries. Both were taken to ECMC. There's no word on the cause at this time. An elderly woman is dead after Cheektowaga police say she crashed her car into a house. Police say 94-year-old Lucille Paparo's car veered off the road, hitting a tree, then a house on Bennett Road yesterday afternoon. Witnesses say she never slowed down as she went off the road, and one woman who was a few vehicles behind her was still shaken up hours later.
I started screaming. I kept telling my husband, you got to turn around. You got to turn around. I don't know if she hit the tree or the house or both. And we turned around, and when we got here, the woman behind us called 911.
The cause of the crash is under investigation. Anyone who witnessed the accident is asked to call Cheektowaga Police at 716-686-3580. Drivers are being warned that starting today, there will be stricter penalties if they're caught texting while driving. Governor Cuomo announced the changes yesterday. YNN's Katie Cummings has more on how that change is going to impact drivers. The City of Buffalo's 11 splash pads officially opened today. Mayor Byron Brown was joined by city officials yesterday to open the long-awaited splash pad at MLK Park. Construction on that splash pad kicked off in 2011. It was supposed to open the following summer, but problems kept the city from making that deadline. The state-of-the-art water park features 300 fountains that can shoot water 15 feet high. The fountains can be controlled from a computer at City Hall.
We're happy that this is done. This is a world-class water feature that was very complicated. Over $4.5 million of investment. This is a proud day. It's a day of celebration, and we're going to reflect on what we have, not what we don't have.
And the splash pad will be used as a reflecting pool in the spring and fall, and an ice skating rink in the winter, weather permitting. The National Veterans Golden Age Games continue today in Western New York, and the games bring more than a major sporting event. They also bring a boost to the local economy. The director of the Buffalo Niagara Sports Commission says the games are estimated to have a $2.2 million economic impact. He says more than 700 veterans and their families are staying in about 10 hotels throughout the region. Athletes were given information about the area from the minute they arrived, and tours are set up for places like the Naval Park and Niagara Falls. Organizers say veterans are already raving about the area, from the waterfront to the chicken wings.
Our hope is that folks who have been here for the first time, folks who brought their family, their spouses, their significant others, will see what Buffalo has to offer and come back in the future. Some of the folks got here early, some are staying a few days late, so the economic impact can only grow for our community.
The Golden Age Games continue through Tuesday. Well, summer's almost here, and that means concert season has arrived, and one very popular concert venue is celebrating a birthday today, 40 years. Art Park is hosting an anniversary gala tonight to celebrate 40 years of shows and performances. Tonight's black tie optional gala will feature a silent auction, food, and treats from local shops. And it'll also feature music. It all takes place in the outdoor amphitheater and starts at 6 p.m. And the Tuesday in the Park concert series opens this week with Billy Idol. A 1.5-mile hike through Hyde Park is being held today to raise money for the SPCA of Niagara County and to honor the memory of Pat Scafari. It was last February when Scafari was walking his 3 golden retrievers through the park when one of the dogs ran out on the ice and fell through. And he ran out to rescue his dog, but sadly Scafari drowned. The dogs were adopted by one of the firefighters on the scene that day. That firefighter, Frank Cacciatore, will lead today's walk along with the dogs. And the Hyde Park Hound Hike kicks off at 11 a.m. at Hyde Park in Niagara Falls. A celebration of Greek culture kicked off yesterday. Greek Orthodox Church of the Annunciation started its 3-day Greek Fest. The nearly 40-year-old event has drawn up to 16,000 people to the church on West Utica. The event features cultural exhibits, Greek imports for sale, and other items to celebrate the Hellenic lifestyle. The festival continues today from 11 a.m. until midnight, and then from noon until 9 p.m. tomorrow. And we've got to take just a quick break, but when we come back, we'll have another look at your warm weather on the 9's forecast. Stay with us.
Hundreds of parents, teachers, and students from Western New York are heading to Albany today to rally against the state's standardized test and over-testing. Rally-goers from more than 15 schools in the area are hoping to send the message enough is enough. They say there are too many tests with not enough time or funding to prepare the students with the curriculum. One school counselor says he doesn't want the test to disappear completely, but wants the test to change.
And if we are going to go through this battery of state testing, we want them to be valuable tests that are data-driven, that our students can get results from and find out their weaknesses, and teachers as well.
The group will join more than 10,000 other participants for a rally at the state capitol.
The Mid-City Plaza in North Tonawanda is now home to the newest Goodwill's retail store. The Payne Avenue location is Goodwill's 10th store in Western New York, and there are plans to open more in the future. A ribbon-cutting ceremony was held today at the store in the former Fashion Bug site. There will be 6 full-time and part-time employees. A donation center was placed in the Tops parking lot behind the plaza a short time ago to help fill the shelves. The company's president says the goal is to ultimately give back to the community.
But the proceeds from the stores go to fund programs that we run back on William Street in Buffalo. So we work with disadvantaged people, helping them overcome their barriers to employment, and at the end of the day, helping them find jobs.
Lynch says they'll be opening another location in Batavia at the end of next month.
A late-night fire in the city of Buffalo damages 2 vacant homes. It started on Walden Avenue around 10 p.m. Firefighters say one of the homes was engulfed in flames and that the flames spread to a neighboring vacant house. No one was inside either of the homes at the time. Firefighters say because the home was fully involved when they arrived, more water was needed for the job.
We can actually knock down most of it from what we carry on board on our engines on a 750-gallon tank. Something like this takes a heck of a lot more water. So trying to get everybody set up and get a lot of water on a fire like this, that's our biggest challenge.
Damage is estimated at $35,000 on the first house. Officials say it will be demolished. Damage on the second home is estimated at $5,000.
Business First released its socioeconomic rankings of Western New York school districts. The annual report shows the Williamsville School District is the most affluent. The analysis is based on poverty rates, income levels, and the percentage of students eligible for free and reduced price lunches. Business First says 5.8% of Williamsville students live in poverty. That's much lower than the regional average of over 19.4%. Rounding out the top 5, East Aurora, Orchard Park, Clarence, and Amherst. And at the bottom of the list of the 98 school districts in 8 Western New York counties is Lackawanna, Ripley, Friendship, Jamestown, and Buffalo.
Town of Tonawanda police are on the scene of a crash where they say a person was hit by a car. It happened shortly before 6 this morning on Niagara Falls Boulevard near the 290. Police say there are injuries, but no word on how serious. Traffic has been shut down, or reduced, I should say, to 1 lane in each direction while emergency crews remain on the scene. We will let you know more information when we get it.